Hey, it's Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol DCTH. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like several days worth of time, it's actually just today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like to do this time frame. I think it does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price, and then makes mapping out levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. I did this analysis yesterday, so that's where these red and green line annotations are coming from. And after today's price movement, not much happened, but now the chart really seems to be entering into a channel pattern where there's not a whole lot to say unless or until something happens. So in order to best kind of illustrate this, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that line. Sure, it still pertains, but from the simplistic approach and from the kind of bigger picture quote-unquote storybook approach, just keeping these two lines out there, I think does the best job of summarizing things. So I mentioned until something happens. Well, how am I going to define something happening? Well, the first thing that could happen is a breakout to the upside. The upside of what? Well, the current pattern that seems to be forming, and that is the channel pattern. And the channel pattern is being formed by two levels. You have the top portion of the pattern, up here, which is the resistance portion. And let's try that again. Let's see if the third time's a charm. There we go. So the top of the channel up there at 24 cents. That's going to be the resistance portion of the channel. The bottom portion of the channel going to be the support portion, and that's down here at 16 cents. And everything in between is just part of the overall channel that seems to have now been forming. And until something happens in regards to that channel, again, first thing that could happen being a breakout to the upside of the resistance up here. The second thing is a breakdown to the downside, which would be a break through the support of 16 cents. But until one of those things happens, not a whole lot to say from a grand scheme of things perspective. Now, don't get me wrong, from a trading perspective, and if you're a day trader or a flipper, this is like your little playground. There is all kinds of wiggle room for you to flip and do your little short-term trades all day long. But if you just care about the grand scheme of everything, then yeah, right now it's kind of boring and the price is just simply going sideways. Now, I mentioned being boring. And the good thing here about this quote-unquote boring period is where it's actually happening. When you scrunch up the chart and look like this, you can see this is not the first time the chart has gone sideways. Looking back through the history of the chart, you can see right here, the chart had quite the sideways period. But now you look at where the sideways period is happening, and not to insult your intelligence, but hopefully you get the point here that where the sideways period is happening now relative to the last time, it is higher, and that's what you want to see because that's representing progress within the big picture of things. So those are the two key levels, at least in my opinion, to keep an eye on as far as the channel is concerned. So just grab some popcorn and we'll see, and just kind of wait until something happens overall from a technical perspective. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.